TJWS Radio Network, featuring Jimmy Drop D. Williams and the Jimmy Williams Show.
News, talk, and music, get down. TJWS Radio, always the best in town. Keep on listening, keep on listening. Got to keep on listening, keep on listening.
The best in news, talk, and music. Only on TJWS Radio.
News, talk, and music, get down. TJWS Radio, always the best in town.
Has your home or property been damaged by any of the recent storms, such as water damage or damage from lightning? Then you may need a lawyer. Has your home been damaged due to an accident where items were dropped, cracked your tile floor, or caused other damage to your tile flooring? Then you may need a lawyer. Has your business been burglarized and the insurance company refused to pay to replace the stolen items or otherwise deny your claim? You may need a lawyer. Has your insurance company denied your long or short-term disability claim? You may need a lawyer. Has your home been damaged due to sinkhole activity, or has your home been damaged due to a fire or smoke loss? Has the insurance company denied your claim or offered an amount insufficient to make the necessary repairs? You may need a lawyer. If you need a lawyer, call Anthony Smith Law at 1-866-520-4529. At Anthony Smith Law, they represent clients who have disputes with their own insurance company. If your insurance company denies your claim, call Anthony Smith Law. Their consultation is free, and they never get paid unless you do. Remember, call 1-866-520-4529 to discuss your insurance rights. Anthony Smith Law offices, located in Orlando.
Give it to them. Give it to them.
If you beep out, your car getting tricked out, visit Auto Sound Factory, where they provide car stereos, car security, custom installation, auto detailing, neon ground glow, custom speaker enclosure, computer design system, and auto accessories. You can visit them at 1234 29th Street, Orlando, Florida 32805, and the phone number is 407-246-0585. Auto Sound Factory. If you leave out your car getting tricked out, visit Auto Sound Factory.
Hello world, this is your hostess that is the mostest, Miss Ovachi, coming to tell you about an event we have coming up March 22nd at the Caribbean Hut. This event is produced by and presented by TJWS Radio and Ovachi Enterprises. Again, it will take place at the Caribbean Hut, 2141 West Colonial Drive, Orlando, Florida 32808. The entrance is only $5, so don't meet me there, beat me there. Again, this event is an entertainment explosion, an explosion of entertainment, taking place March 22nd, presented by TJWS Radio and Ovachi Enterprises. See you there.
Empire Graphics and Printing, the #1 graphics and printing company in Florida. Club flyers, mixtape covers, posters, they do it all. Reach them at 407-404-0509.
Hollywood Beauty Academy. Invest in your future. Start a profitable career in the beauty field. For a low tuition, you can become a nail tech, a skin care technician, a cosmetologist, or a permanent makeup artist, or learn eyelash extension. Earn good money. The tuition is affordable for everyone. We have installment plans to fit your budget and flexible schedules to fit your own schedule. Call us at 407-292-6727 or come for a visit at 6112 Silver Star Road, Orlando 32808. We are open from Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Hollywood Beauty Academy. Email hollywoodbeautyacademy@yahoo.com. Invest in your future.
First of all, I want to congratulate Commissioner Lynum for being who she are. And then I want to commend her for having a son like you. Okay? And I'm sure she had to kind of tap your head a few times. But
more than you would think.
I know they do. But anyway, I really appreciate you for doing it. But I want to talk about what the man over here was talking about the businesses, the African Americans. Daisy, we Daisy now, okay? But anyway, you remember the program they had, I think it was a migrant loan program that they had when people wanted to get businesses. And a lot of people got the funding, but they did not do the businesses, or they went out, or they went under. And I think a lot of it was due to a lot of people did not critique their paperwork in order not to get the loan. With a lot of African Americans, because I think I was on some of them boards downtown during the time of that. But what we need is people going into their businesses. I think what they need to do is have classes to show them how to structure their paperwork, get their paperwork in order. And our commissioner is strong as we make our commissioner. And I learned that from your mom, okay? So I learned a lot from her, but thank you, Commissioner Lynum. Another thing I want to talk about is land trust deals in neighborhoods. I don't like them. I don't understand them all, but I do not like them. And talking about vacant houses, I went through several different roads to try to get to the owner of some of these properties when they go in foreclosure. But then I learned where they go from bank to bank to bank, and you never really find out where you can go or how to buy the houses. But then all of a sudden, you see some other nationality come buying the houses. But we need to know how we can go about getting that, because there are people, because there was something I want to implement, that we can buy houses and then, you know, we sell the houses and we instruct people how to keep the houses and stuff like that. And I think we need to empower our people, but we need to work together and try and do that. So I thank you for running, and I think that we will be on you or with you to do the best you can do, okay? And the more we empower you, the more you can be empowered. And that's what we're looking for.
Thank you.
And thank you, Commissioner Lynum, again, okay?
There's only one commissioner. There were 3 points made there. I heard the first one had to do with migrant loans, the second with land trust, community land trust, and I think the third had to do with being able to, I guess, find out during foreclosed properties that go from one bank to the next how you can actually purchase them. I think those were kind of the 3 points and what you were sharing with us. When I was the president and CEO of the African American Chamber of Commerce, we were fortunate enough to have a satellite office. You know, we're based in the Wells Built, but had a satellite office right over on Robinson Street, right next to the SBA, Small Business Administration. And it was it was the SBA there, and I think it's still over there, the SBA, that big, what do they call it? Entrepreneurial Center? National Entrepreneurial Center. Right, Disney National Entrepreneurial Center. And within there are a lot of resources that are available and people to actually help you with those type of things. When I was there, we would have events there, you know, matchmaking events and trying to introduce African American members about the resources that were located there. But you're right, we can continue to do a better job, work more with the Chamber, with even the BBIF, and you know, who wants to come together to make sure that this is something that's ongoing. It's not just a workshop here, you know, another one 6 months later, but perhaps because, you know, businesses, people are coming up with ideas every day. People are starting businesses every day. They need access to capital, you know, every day. So I hear you. There is a need for that. Part of that is also letting people know where those resources are. They can do a better job with that. As far as the land trust, when I've lived in other cities, I've seen how that's been an issue. I don't really totally understand it, other than I believe it's this concept of the city, you know, owns the property, or it's in some kind of trust, and I really don't understand it. I know in other cities, I don't know how much Orlando may be doing anything like that. I'm not familiar with, but I know in cities like Philadelphia, when I lived there back in like 2000, there was a lot of that kind of stuff going on in other cities I've been to. So I don't really understand it, how it works and the dynamics. Is there much of that being done here in Orlando? Okay, I'm not familiar with that at all here in Orlando. As far as foreclosing on the banks and who may own that's in foreclosure and how to access that. Well, every foreclosed home is technically in litigation. It's a court case. And with public records, just going on to, for example, here in Orange County, myorangeclerk.com, if you know who was in that property, and I think you can go onto just the appraiser's website and find the name of the person who's being foreclosed on. And you can take that name and search for them in myorangeclerk.com to find their case. And if you find their case, you'll find out who the plaintiff is. The plaintiff is going to be the bank foreclosing. And probably right there from the online document, you actually have to go down to the courthouse and look at the file. But for the most part, whoever is the owner of that property is going to be the plaintiff, and that will be the bank that you should be able to go to and figure out what's going on with the property. But the bank oftentimes outsources those things to other agencies, but as far as the bank that is in charge, you should be able to find who that bank is on any foreclosed property. Is public record. You have to track it down through the actual court case, but that's how you get to that particular information. Okay, so continuing the discussion, sir, you have a question?
Hi, James Drayton, who live on Central Boulevard. Been there, I guess, full time since 2002. Bought the property in 1997, renovated, trying to make it into something nice. But I see much more can happen on Central Boulevard, with the right kind of.
Which part of Central are you talking about? The Fairmore side, Central?
Between Rio Grande and Chapman Avenue.
Okay.
That part right there.
Mm-hmm.
Could be a very nice little section of Central Boulevard.
Mm-hmm.
If the houses would be modernized, people could actually reap some good benefits from modernizing their houses.
Right.
Some of the lots are pretty large, could be cut down some. They could reap benefits from building creative housing there and staying themselves as well.
Mm-hmm.
You have, right now, you have about 6 houses there. They can be turned into probably 16.
Mm-hmm.
The city could reap a lot of benefit as far as real estate taxes.
Mm-hmm.
The area would look better, and I think people would be more proud of the area, as a whole. The other problem I see you having over there is that park on Rio Grande.
Sorry, the Lake Norton Dune?
I understand it's traditional
Sunday play.
place to hang out in Orlando.
Oh, yeah.
But it is it's really a mess. And I hope that you will try to clean that up somewhat, because I call the police all the time. When I get curse words over the microphone, I call all the time. So those folks will know who's calling is me.
Okay. Okay.
Now, I was in college, and I was a black tam wearing leather coat wearing Black Panther. Those days are over. Like the gentleman over here said, we need people in office who can engage non-black people in an intelligent manner. And it comes home to roost a lot faster when your family becomes interracial, and you begin to understand that using words like I've heard here today have to cease. All it takes is one interracial marriage in the family, and the kid coming out of that situation makes you understand that your way of thinking has to change. And this gentleman's over here on the side over here. I felt a little embarrassed for him to have to hear some of the things he heard.
Jeff's cool.
Yeah, but I still felt a little embarrassed for him. There are a lot of people who want forgiveness, and we got to be willing to give it to them. Okay, really. There's one other thing I want to talk about also, and that is the way that the city is blocking off the streets and trying to steal all the parking around Citrus Bowl. And I've addressed that in the past. I've been on conference calls with the city while I was in New York doing inspections for Sandy, and we're trying to get them to not clamp down so hard on the traffic. So I hope you will continue to let us make some money down in the park, okay?
Sure. Now, okay, so as part of you, okay, I know exactly where you live. You said you live on Central between Rio Grande and Tampa. I know the homes you're talking about, that right there on they got the senior facility right there on Central across from the lake, and I know those homes are right there on the other side of the street. You have the park. So the first part of your question had to do with, I guess, maximizing land use. You said where there's 4 homes right now, they're pretty big lots, it'd be 16 homes. So that's my first question would be, are those private homeowners who don't want government or anyone else coming in and messing with their property? Because, you know, of course, that's always an issue with dealing with private ownership. There's only so much we can do, and that's generally deals with code enforcement, making sure you're living within the law. Because then we get into what a lot of people fear in our community is government coming in and taking their property. So are those private landowners there? Are those absentee landowners? As far as on that issue of turning that into some type of more dense use, how would you propose?
Well, I think that they have to be educated as to what they can do with their property. It can't stay the way it is. Most of the properties are very, very much outdated. And it can't stay the way it is forever. See, that's when someone comes in and takes over the property, and you start yelling about gentrification, all that kind of stuff. Right. Just because you're not progressing. So if you're standing still, you're moving backwards.
Okay, so it sounds like you say now the wheels are turning a little bit. Okay, it sounds like the landowner could probably be pitched an idea, which is saying how he can make more money off the property, especially if it's an absentee landowner. The only thing they're about anyway is making money off the property. So maybe there's a better way to make more money off the property, which becomes a better use to the community. Is that what you're? Okay, no, that makes sense. I think that's something all of us can do. And I would imagine the commissioner would have a little bit more comfort for that landowner saying, hey, I would support something like this going right here. Because that's a lot of what happens, honestly. The elected officials may identify some property and they talk with the folks and see how they can support doing something better. So I think a lot of that happens, and we can talk about that particular area. Now, as far as Lake Lorna Dune and what's going on there at the park, it sounds like you're having issues with public nuisance. And boy, when it's a public nuisance coming from a public park, I know it gets a little different because there's one thing about when you're in your private property, becoming a nuisance to others in private property. When you're in public property, like a park, where you're kind of expected to, I guess to some extent, make noise, and definitely not cursing and carrying on. Maybe we can have, if there are not city ordinances which regulates, but then we get into First Amendment stuff. So I had to think about maybe the possibilities of how we can designate certain areas as some type of zone where you cannot amplify certain type of language. So we can look at those things. I think if I'm city commissioner, we can talk to the attorneys and see what we can come up with to make it more civil in that area.
I don't think most of the people who frequent that park live in the area. They don't live there. They come over there, they park the car across the sidewalk. You can't walk around late because you got Dodge cars. Right. They drop their paper and their bottles where they stand. They think they can send all this bad language over the intercom. Right. And not be harassed. Right. There are signs that say no parking. No one's enforcing it. Right. That's a good one. No one's enforcing the no parking. That's something that I think we can definitely help out with that. With your commissioner making a phone call as that's happening, driving down there, maybe waiting, because that's my neighborhood. You know, I live in Rock Lake, so my friend Jabril and I were starting to jog. We're trying to build up our wind so we can start jogging around that area again, like we used to when we were kids. We used to jog around the lake. But I would imagine if your commissioner's there calling it in, hey, this is a no parking area, I would imagine the police will feel compelled to come out and ticket and tow if necessary. So I would be more than happy to do that as not just your commissioner, but as your neighbor over there in the community. Okay. I know you had some other points, but we talked about the city clamping down on the parking, redirecting traffic, blocking off streets, what have you. We like to, not only does it hurt the people who are parking cars and making money from it, you know, like myself, it also hurts the small businesses that are there that can make money from the traffic, foot traffic.
So that they're blocking off your street so that
Blocking
folks
off
cannot
streets.
access maybe the land that you own where people can park? Is that, okay, we can take a look at that. I'd like to kind of conceptualize exactly how things are being blocked off, because I can't really understand how that could be playing out over there. But if there's something that makes sense, of course, we have to speak with OPD and see why maybe a barrier is where it is, and see if we can come to some type of resolution to obtain the same end, but which will allow the homeowners there.
We have a pretty good working relationship with them right now, but it's because I push and I've asked for, you know, some sort of concessions. It seems to be going pretty well right now, but we want to make sure it continues to go well in the future.
Okay. Great, very good. Another question in the back. Yes, sir.
I had a couple of things. I have two questions. First of all, I'll tell you that I've only heard great things about you. However, I'm not a Lynum supporter. What can you say that would sway a person that's on the fence to your side versus your two opponents? That's the question number two. And secondly, with you having a JD and being an officer of the court, can you explain to me how you're able to have a homestead exemption in Lake County and reside in Orlando? And I'd like for you to talk to me in legal terms so that I can understand, because I have a couple properties too, so I may like to do the same thing.
Sure. No, I'll tell you this how I do it. Tom Jr. does it. What's his name? Donald Trump does it. We all have homestead properties in Florida, but we don't live in those homestead properties. It's something, it's not a secret, it's just something when you start to accumulate assets, you want to go and speak with a asset protection attorney who will explain those things. You know, it's unfortunate some of the misinformation that came out with this particular information, that you have to live in your homestead property. That's absolutely silly and ridiculous. The state of Florida, you know, having homestead is part of our Constitution. And people don't understand the tax as well as the more important creditor protections behind homestead property. Homestead property is not about you living there. Homestead property is about you having a place to live. If all goes wrong in your life, homestead property is about, okay, they're going to take away everything you have. One thing they're not going to be able to take away is your homestead. So that's why so many celebrities, even in Orlando, a lot of celebrities own properties here in Orlando. You just don't hear about them. They own in Ellsworth and everywhere else, but they don't live here because of the protections our state has. So myself, like anyone else who understands our laws and wants to benefit and take full advantage, they, of course, if they only own one piece of property, it would be crazy not to make it their homestead exemption. They don't have to live there. A person last night was saying that, wrongly stating this statute, which says the homestead is your permanent residence, but people like to mistakenly say your primary residence. That's not the law. Homestead is not about it being your primary residence. The critical word is permanent residence. Okay, so that's the distinction. You live wherever you want to live, have as many houses as you want to have. But the most expensive one, the one you have the most equity in, should be your homestead, because that's what you want to protect. Okay. Your first question had to do with, I'm sorry, because that was the second part of the question.
In short, why are you better than your two opponents?
I'm more qualified. I think it's just very simple. I'm just far more qualified. Okay. That's another question. Ted? Well, Ted hasn't asked a question yet, so let's let Ted do this.
Congratulations, Juan, on your lineup. I think it's a great thing to see young black people run for office, and I think every election a black person should be in it, even in a partner. the thing I want to say is, what are you going to do to engage young people 25 to 45 years old? And what are you going to do to make sure that group is employed? This is a basic general comment as you can think about it. Media here in Orlando, we don't have a black radio station, and the one that we do have won't even go up the street. And that is a way to communicate with people. So we are kind of out of communication. We can't communicate with each other, so we are not empowered through communications. We do have what you call a Fortune 500 radio station here that advertise big car dealers, but they don't advertise your event going on today. So that makes us weak. We have, several Hispanic stations. You mentioned a lot of black millionaires or millionaires, but we still don't own, radio stations. And you can switch your TV on and you can see 7 or 8 Spanish stations, not one black television station. So these are the kind of things I think that we're, have to look at in the future to try to equalize us and empower us as a community. And, by you taking on this position, you can probably open up dialogue to strengthen and empower, our community. I think another thing I would like to say is that a lot of times a lot of the power, the effective positions go to people from other places, other locations. And, basically I think if we can empower or hire some of the people in the positions that make a community stronger. For instance, people right here in our community know the businesses, they know the environment, and if we can hire, for some of these major organizations, some of the people who know what's going on in Orlando, instead of someone who has to find out what's going on in Orlando, I think that would be much better. I guess I came from the era, I've been here about 37 years, and I came from the era where everybody used to talk about Dr. Smith and Attorney Perkins and the great thing that they did in the community, and that was all the rage, So I hope that you can bring that era back where, we're art empowered. One of my white friends talking about diversity just a minute ago, they were saying they were in Atlanta and they were so impressed with what was going on in Atlanta. They said all the black people working and looking good, and they said, what's happening with Orlando? Why Orlando's not like that? But anyway, that was my 2 cents, and I hope you think about it, especially the communication area, making sure our radio stations can be heard all over the city and get some information to our community. I think that would empower us, and I think you're in a position, to work on things like that.
Thank you, Ted. The first part of the question was 25 to 40 and jobs for them, I believe. And as I started off, there are going to be thousands of jobs starting to come. It may be over the next 10, 20 years, but thousands of jobs are going to be coming in. And as I've shared, those jobs aren't just going to be for highly skilled workers, because we know we need administrative assistants, we need not necessarily highly skilled.
Has your home or property been damaged by any of the recent storms, such as water damage or damage from lightning? Then you may need a lawyer. Has your home been damaged due to an accident where items were dropped, cracked your tile floor, or caused other damage to your tile flooring? Then you may need a lawyer. Has your business been burglarized and the insurance company refused to pay to replace the stolen items or otherwise deny your claim? You may need a lawyer. Has your insurance company denied your long or short-term disability claim? You may need a lawyer. Has your home been damaged due to sinkhole illegal activity? Or has your home been damaged due to a fire or smoke loss? Has the insurance company denied your claim or offered an amount insufficient to make the necessary repairs? You may need a lawyer. If you need a lawyer, call Anthony Smith Law at 1-866-520-4529. At Anthony Smith Law, they represent clients who have disputes with their own insurance company. If your insurance company denies your claim, call Anthony Smith Law. Their consultation is free, and they never get paid unless you do. Remember, call 1-866-520-4529 to discuss your insurance rights. Anthony Smith Law offices, located in Orlando.
Hollywood Beauty Academy. Invest in your future. Start a profitable career in the beauty field. For a low tuition, you can become a nail tech, a skin care technician, a cosmetologist, or a permanent makeup artist, or learn eyelash extension. Earn good money. The tuition is affordable for everyone. We have installment plans to fit your budget and flexible schedules to fit your own schedule. Call us at 407-292-6727 or come for a visit at 6112 Silver Star Road, Orlando 32808. We are open from Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Hollywood Beauty Academy. Email hollywoodbeautyacademy@yahoo.com. Invest in your future.
Hello world, this is your hostess that is the mostest, Miss Alvachi, coming to tell you about an event we have coming up March 22nd at the Caribbean Hut. This event is produced by and presented by TJWS Radio and Alvachi Enterprises. Again, it will take place at the Caribbean Hut, 2141 West Colonial Drive, Orlando, Florida 32808. The entrance is only $5, so don't meet me there, beat me there. Again, this event is an entertainment explosion, an explosion of entertainment, taking place March 22nd, presented by TJWS Radio and Alvachi Enterprises. See you there.
Give it to them. Give it to them.
If you beep out, your car getting tricked out, visit Auto Sound Factory, where they provide car stereos, car security, custom installation, auto detailing, neon ground glow, custom speaker enclosure, computer design system, and auto accessories. You can visit them at 1234 29th Street, Orlando, Florida 32805, and the phone number is 407-246-0585. Auto Sound Factory. If you leave out your car getting tricked out, visit Auto Sound Factory.
Empire Graphics and Printing, the #1 graphics and printing company in Florida. Club flyers, mixtape covers, posters, they do it all. Reach them at 407-404-0509.
TJWS Radio Network, featuring Jimmy Drop D. Williams and the Jimmy Williams Show.
News, talk, and music, get down. TJWS Radio, always the best in town. Keep on listening, keep on listening. Got to keep on listening, keep on listening.
The best in news, talk, and music. Only on TJWS Radio.